Thank you. And you're not trying to get the AC turned on.
Hi guys, most of you know who I am, Barry Landau. I've been playing and loving these plants for about 50 years. And I have the fortune to have known some of the great people in the Bromeliad world. Dr. Kent, Fritz Kubisch, one of the founders of this club. Who else? Of course, now they go out of my mind. Well, my mentor was R.M. Delgado, and he was a man who was known by his friends. His name was Frenchie. And Frenchie was my best friend when I was 11. He was 65, and he was giving me all kinds of plants, and I was hanging out with him. And I learned most of what I learned about bromeliads from Frenchie. And not until I came back from college, that in about 1983 or 84, he was already very old, very sick. Did he ever tell me that he was one of the founding fathers of the Bromeliad Society International? He's an unsung hero because he didn't like the politics, so he never wanted to be known. But the very first printed piece of material that the Bromeliad Society ever put out, it's called the Handbook of Bromeliad Culture, was by R.M. Delgado. And he found this club. And him and Fritz Kubisch were good friends of Harry Olds, as in Oldsmobile. And Harry Olds, this is circa 1953, 54, 55, he had a Willys Jeep with a double, custom, because he had a lot of money. Double axle, 300-gallon capacity, 12-cylinder Cadillac engine, double radiators, and they used to drive from here down to the tip of Argentina and back, collecting bromeliads, and they would just put them on the roof and drive back in. So, Southern California is a special place. We in Southern Florida are where bromeliad hobby and bromeliad collecting started for regular people who are not university-trained botanists. So, our local clubs are very special. And people don't realize this, and that's why I'm making every effort I can to try to attract young people through my Facebook groups and through my YouTube videos, try to get them into our clubs. Now, what I'm going to show you now is just an overview of last year's shows, and it's got to be quick. I would encourage you, if you have money or time or both, to try to go to the other clubs' shows. You'll see why. Because each one of the clubs has special collectors like we have here. And those collectors have some unique plants. And so that's what I'm going to show you in this presentation right now. All right, let's not belabor it.
Hey, Gary?
Yes?
One thing that you did not mention is that Frenchie and all the others started with our La Rayona.
No, I'm saying they founded this club.
Yeah,
I did say that, but I'm talking too fast. I'm sorry, I talked too fast. They founded this club.
You just didn't say it.
I did. I
You
said
think too
they,
fast.
I said they founded this club. But also, you know, this through Frenchie, I met Victoria Padilla and Jack Roth, that's Talanzi Rothii, and I met a lot of people through him. Dr. Kennedy, I can't think of his first name, he's the guy that invented the machine that makes diamonds. And he had this cloud system rainforest special $1 million hothouse up in Bel Air that I got to go to because of Frenchie. All right, so let's look at these slides. Go ahead and turn the lights off, please. And at the end, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Facebook stuff, but we'll just get to the point right now. Southern California Area Bromeliad Society Shows 2014 by yours truly. Well, so what happens is early in the year, there's a standard garden show at the South Coast Plaza in Orange County. Excuse me. Now, Saddleback Bromeliad Society, they don't usually have a show like we do. I don't know if they used to, but I don't know if they do it anymore. They do occasionally put in an installation in the Orange County Fair. But what they had was, sorry. Look at that nice Neo, the big purple Neo there, and that's a nice Freesia down the middle. What they did was they had a booth that's manned by their members. And it's a sales booth, but it's a way to promote bromeliads to this audience that comes to South Coast Plaza and is really looking at bonsais and epiphyllums and things like that. And, most of it is nice pups, decent pricing, not giveaways, but decent pricing. And there's part of the all-important volunteer member sales team. It was about a 25 or 30-foot table. It was pretty decent. And they had some good stuff. Here was a chestnut. I think it was only 20 or 25 bucks. And it might be a chestnut hybrid. And a nice latifolia. It was like 10 bucks. It's probably, I think that's the stiffer leaf form. And then, look at this freesia though. This was amazing. It was about 20 inches. And of course it sold right away. It was 100 bucks. But it's a top quality plant. They had this hidden under the table. That's why it's sort of dark. So that's just to give you the idea that they're out in public, but not like us. Well, here we are. This is last year's show. And as expensive as this facility is, I would like to emphasize how important it is what our club does and how important each of you are when you bring a plant, even one plant. This show impresses people, and I wish we could get the television stations and the other people to pay attention to us. I've tried desperately to get them to do that, but it's hard. All right, well, so here's our member table, and again, I'm going to move pretty quickly because, I don't want to belabor this and go over time. One of Chester George Skotak's, one of the great plants by him. If you don't know who Skotak is, you should by now. He's essentially one of the greatest hybridizers ever, especially of colorful Nergelias. And this was best in show last year. Does anybody remember who brought this? Right. But it's Pam. Okay. But it's Lisco Monticola times Calorthris.
Pat, that's your plant, right, Pat?
No. Pam, you're saying Pam.
It's her plant.
But this was about 3 feet wide and 3 feet tall. So just what you're seeing here is hybrid vigor. You're seeing that this is a progeny that exceeds either of its parents. And I believe this was Sarah's. Tillandsia australis, one of the great big recumbent bromeliads, Tillandsias that hangs down. And there was a nice big secunda. Secunda is not colorful, but it has this nice ability to produce tens or hundreds of pups on the spike. It's called being viviparous. And here's, of course, one of my favorite plants ever. It's vittata, Bilbergia vittata, Dominguez martins. And so you know, this one Bilbergia changed Bilbergia hybridizing forever and better. And we're gonna keep up with a quick pace. We tend to get a good display of Dickias, and it was very good last year. And that's because of Steve Ball and George Ilaria and Nils Christian, I forget your last name, Nils, sorry. Nils and Brian Chan. And here's George, one of the longtime great members of this club in South Bay. And for years and years, he's doing less now, but he's responsible for displaying a lot of great plants at the shows. So I'm going to show you the divisions, and then we'll show a couple of other things. Now, each year here, we get about between sort of 300 and 500 plants. And that's only because of the goodwill of you guys. If we members don't participate, we don't have a show. It's very simple. Here's another Chester George Skotak. I get used to calling him all three names because of Facebook. Chester Skotak plant. This has been around for about 30 years, and you see it's got the alba margination, the white striping on the leaves. It's got the mottling, it's got colors, it's got variegation. It's a super plant. There's different forms of this and different clones of this. I think this is Don's plant, Nergelia marcone. This is an old-time hybrid, but it's one of the best. I like the way it has the thin little bit of green down the side of the leaves that sort of frame the leaves and the bright contrast with the spots. Keep moving. Does anybody know who brought this? Cheryl?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's bird rock.
That's a bird, okay.
Yeah.
This is an Erigelia. This is absolutely unbelievable. Most Erigelias are not upright. Most are not. This, you'd say, is that an Ecmea or a billbird?
Actually, it's still a pretty immature one. It does spread out a little.
Oh, it does? Okay,
But
so-
it is not.
but it's
it is
giant.
more of- Yeah.
It's giant. That's 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and she's saying it's like a big pup. So, all right. And again, this is a plant we only see because of Sarah. Nobody else has this. There's the Tillandsia display. And this is our display each year, but it changes with what's in there. That's my Dorati. That's a 26-year-old clump, one of the few plants I have left from my old collection. And here's a Canistrum triangulari. It's, part of the hard part is that because we're limited in our scope as a group, we're limited in how many different genera we have at the show. But this is a great, great plant species. Ecmea nudicalis rubra, there's many kinds of nudicalis, and this is a particularly nice one. Tillandsia depiana, you have to excuse, we're just jumping around because we have to move through pretty quickly. This was pretty big, about 24 inches, Vriesia gigantea. It's one of the, what they call glyph, the glyph Vriesias. That means it's got the hieroglyphic type coloration on the leaves. It's a species. It gets large. It throws about a 4 or 5 foot spike. And here's an orthophytum. That might be Nell's. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but it's, again, people say, why would you like this plant? Well, it has its own special, unique beauty. Okay. This was from next door. This was actually in the Sunset Garden, Sunset Cactus Succulent Society. It's a nice one. A couple of our members have good ones. Don has a good one. But this is a particularly nice Deuteroconia brevifolia, and I think it's variety brevifolia too. That's probably 30, 40, 50 years old. And then here's a classic. You'd say it doesn't, and it looks almost like a hybrid, but that's a species, Erigelia de Rolf. That was one of the sale plants. Here's another commercial dickia that was for sale called Grape Jelly. And another one of the great larger cryptanthus called Elaine. Hybrids. And here's one of our great friends who used to be a member of this club for many decades. And was a friend of mine, Bill Palin. He was a horticulturalist, landscaper, and a very special guy. He used to support all the clubs. And this is named for him by Bill Baker. And you may or may not have heard that name, but Bill Baker was, again, one of our special Southern California guys who specialized in hybridizing dickias. Okay, Holmbergia, Correa Royjoy. And it's a fantastic plant. They can get large, 3-4 feet, but you can't put them in the midday full sun or they fry. It's actually it's a thick leaf, but it's kind of a soft leaf. It's a beautiful plant though. All right, Little Harv, that's a sales plant. And this was one of the best things to me last year it was a very tight, compact, thick form of Tillandsia mitlansis. And I just love the way it looks like, a claw hand, or whatever you want to call it. And then this was by, everybody tell me, David, one of our members. And that's Buddha in his little temple, and those are hundreds of little seedling clusters that he raised, and there's a little miniature Ionanthus next to Buddha, and it's just a fantastic thing. He puts so much energy, and he does those things that look like bonsais. And here's the other one that he did. I just love this. It's instead of a chia pet or a chia hippopotamus, it's a Tillandsia tricholepsis hippopotamus. And you're looking at, so much work to make this thing, and then to make it look good for the show. All right, let's keep moving.
Not a chia pet, it's a
Yeah,
pet.
it's a Tillandsia pet. All right, so then we have our sister group, so to speak, in San Fernando Valley Bromeliad Society, which meets the Sepulveda Garden Center. I go there for each meeting and try to be a full member. They have their show. We have our show there. It's at what's called the Drought Resistant or the Drought Tolerant Plant Festival, which is put on by the LACSS, LA Cactus and Succulent Society. And the prime mover is Artie Chavez. So if any of you are in the cactus succulent world, you know who he is. And this is a fantastic show, but it's primarily become a commercial show. Still, it's very nice. And they do have some, this is our display there. And instead of, we only get a little part of a room that's maybe about the size of this room. So we're limited what we can do. And so it's a static display. It's not competitive. There's no ribbons, nothing going on. But we have some good collectors that bring great stuff. And it's just a general shot. And here's the Tillandsia wall. That's a nice big latifolia. And you see some really great Bill Burgess in the foreground there. I think brought by Brian Chan. But again, this is part of an outreach more than anything else. We're getting this particular show gets a very large crowd, and they come mainly to buy stuff, and so we're able to contact them, and we pull maybe a person or two a year in to become members. It's a classic Mayorlandiana, but especially nice looking one. Here's Brian Chan, who is a longtime member there, South Bay, comes here occasionally, and he always is a big part of taking care of the sales booth there. In South Bay, I think this is I think this is Steve Ball hybrid, but I can't remember. It might be Bill Baker. But it's just, people say, well, why Dickie is it? Once you start to see the subtleties between the conformation, and look at the dark leaf compared to the white spines. And these are not deadly spines. They're not pleasant, but they're not deadly. They're not like a hectia, which is a different genera. Hectias will, take chunks of meat out of you. And here's a classic great orthophytum, another genera. I should remember to make my remarks applicable to new people. Grickenii, and there's many forms of this, but this is a particularly nice one. And well grown. Look at that mar on the leaves. All right, we got to keep moving. One of the great gray-leafed Varesias that I think has become a Tillandsia. I think they just converted it in the last 6 months or a year. But this is Mary's plant, Steve and Mary, and that's a mother in the middle. It's got 5 pups around it, and it hasn't even bloomed yet. That's a great plant. Those are, the pups are on stolons. They're stoloniferous. This is not, I wish I'd made this a lighter slide. That's Bill Burgess Darth Vader, which has Domingus Martins in it. I don't know what the other parent is, but that's a great one. They sell for about $50 still. It's about 20 years old, the hybrid. There's you can see a larger specimen of Hohenbergia, some other neos. And you can see the Hohenbergia is in bloom in the upper left there, and spike. So people say, well, why collect these? They're so plain, but people love them for the bulbous bottom, and they do have nice spikes, and they're very tough, strong plants. Hohenbergia, different kinds of Hohenbergia. There's a nice Tictorum. Tictorum, you can't water it midday. And you got to be very careful. These things rot easy here for us and anywhere. But I know Pat has some fantastic clumps, and he put some. This might be his. This is from last year. Oh, I'm sorry, this is South Bay. I'm sorry. All right, so I don't think this is Jewelry Shop, but that's a pretty nice neo. And I tried to name each slide, so I didn't necessarily get them all right. This is Cornelia marmorata, the Tim Plowman form or clone. And it's Tim Plowman because of those extra curly leaf tips. And this is a slow plant. We had one in the show here last year or 2 years ago. It was like a 30 plant clump. They're just so amazing when they get the large specimens. That's our friend Duke Benedum, looking like a secret agent. And so remember now, we're at the San Fernando show. This is all about San Fernando. And so because of Steve Ball and Richard Kaz, and we'll see them in a minute, but because of those guys, Brian Chan, they always have great Dickias and great Hectias at this show. And it's just, again, I don't know the name, it's just a beautiful purple, small deal. And here's classic species, there's Zonatus, that's probably in about 500 different hybrids, somewhere in the past as a parent. There's Artie, taking care of business, always running the show. And there's Steve Ball on the left, and our friend Nels in the middle. and Richard Kaz. And again, you can't emphasize enough, it's these dedicated members, not just the excited new members, that make these shows possible by bringing spectacular plants. And all of us, need to respect them for that. So this is some of the sales table there. It's going to keep moving. And a nice, either a Dickia, it looks like a Hectia on the left. And I believe on the right is a Nude Lady, the Dickia that has those spines. Not sure. And we had that year, for the first time, we had the High Desert Turtle and Tortoise Club. This is a California turtle, but they brought some nice stuff. Now look at this. These are, the larger plants are Hectias, and most of those are Dickias. But, people come to this show, they walk past us, they say, ho-hum. And I tell you that on my Facebook groups, the Japanese and the Malaysians and the Singaporeans, they are like bowing down. We are not worthy just to even see the photo. They know how rare these things are. And each year, this is Steve Ball, again, Richard Kaz, and Brian Chan. And people don't realize how amazing this stuff is, but over time, maybe they will. Okay, a nice Shantini, a commercial plant for sale. Here's Bob Friedman. He's one of the oldest members there, been a member for like 40 years. He's 93 or 94, not doing real good right now, but he's a sweet, sweet man. And he will come to the show there and literally spend 3 or 4 hours talking to people to try to get them to join our club. Sweet guy. All right, this is just a few shots. Bromeliads displayed by Steve Ball and Mary over at the Southern California Iris Society show. And again, this is by our friend Mike Boss from, I think, from Orange County. And those are just his own hybrids. There's no names to those, but he just does nice artwork. But the point is, they go out of their way, they love irises, but they went out of their way to bring bromeliads there so that the Irish people will see bromeliads, and maybe some young people will, strawberry and blue, and get people excited. Because I tell you honestly, there's a handful of bromeliad nurseries? Tropiflora, Michael's, you got a few here in town, you got Bird Rock. The commercial growers are never going to grow the plants you and I grow that we love. So I tell you right now that unless we do something, it's all going to go away. And I'm not trying to be mean. We have to get young people in, or the plants will perish. Because most of these are, the commercial growers will never care about them, and because you understand, it's not a high volume set of plants. There's a nice species, Milligrensis. Okay, so that was, our show is what, in July or something? June. Then the month after, May. Then either the next month, June or July, is the San Diego show. And that's at the, in the Balboa Park. Yeah. And they're smart there. They have, first of all, it's a smaller room. It's like this size room, but they pay nothing for it. And their show is on a high volume Saturday and Sunday, but it's hidden down in the Del Prado complex. So they have this signage that lets the walking people find, here we are, come see us. And so that's about half the showroom there. Excuse me, let me sip of some. 1 second, sorry. But they pack a lot of stuff in there. They get about as many plants as we do into a far smaller space. Okay, here's the best in show display. And you see there's some special stuff there. We'll look at a couple of them. Again, I'm limited by time what I can show you guys, but I'm going to tell you at the end about my YouTube videos and how you can watch the in-depth coverage of these shows done by me. This was spectacular. This is about 3.5 feet tall. The photo, it's an illusion. The photo makes it look tiny. I don't know why. This is about a 50 or 60-year-old plant. Edithii is so slow, and there's only about 10 or 20% of it in bloom, but it's about 18 inches wide. It was just huge, and you have to understand Some of these plants are very slow, some are quicker, but
That's a fast for me.
yeah, it's always been very slow for me. You've got a good form. And this is one of my favorite things that was there last year. Hybrid of Streptophylla times Lersiana, and that is not desiccated. That is the way it looks. It's not too dry. It just has this natural curling of the leaves in the longitudinal plane there, and a big bulbous bottom. It's not the best angle for the shot, but it gives you an idea. And here's, again, this is one of the greater Cusnelias, Cusinia marmorata Rafael Oliveira, and it's essentially a variegated Tim Plowman, but it's not. It's named after a very famous Brazilian botanist. And there's a nice triangularis. It's a small one. That's only about 12 inches. I'm used to seeing them about 2 feet, but nice form. And again, remember, we're looking at the best in show plants. We'll get to other stuff. Now, this was marked Hannibal Lecter, but most Hannibal Lecters have the zonation or the striping continuous up the leaves. So maybe not the best clone, but a beautiful plant nonetheless. And here's a classic, Billbird's Hallelujah. Many of you have it. But that's a great form, and look at the contrast. Some of them don't look this good. And again, another Darth Vader. Luke, you're my son. And that's a nice little Tillandsia Andriana on the right there. This is interesting. They have gone out to the public, to some of the middle schools, and they bring this is colored in. You know, they're not free form, but it's nice. It's a way to sort of propagandize young kids to maybe like our plants. And another is just Canistrium triangulari. Again, another. I like the way the sort of black is infused in the center of the leaf, and then it's got those great black teeth. And Tillandsia capitata. You know, we're just jumping around the room because there's not. The show is so extensive that you either have to go or watch the video. You're better off going. I think this is firecracker. That's a neophytum. That's across. You know, it's an intergeneric or bigeneric. Neogelia times orthophytum. And it's just a great plant. And it's one of the club members, or two of them down there, have this huge collection of pineapple memorabilia and lamps and clocks, you name it. That's every year they put that in. Now, here's another. You say, well, Milagro, it doesn't look anything like the other Milagro we saw. There's different clones, and this is one of the better ones. It's a wider leaf.
I think a lot of that's due to growing too.
There is. I know what you're saying, but I have seen the two side by side growing in the same condition, and this is a different clone. But you're right; they can be different just by how you grow them. There's no question. Here's one of the greatest, to me, one of the best John Arden hybrids ever. Tillandsia Silver Queen, and it's I believe it's fasciculata times Xerographica, and has Jalisco Monticola in it. But look at that. It's, 2.5 feet wide, that stately, sort of majestic spike. And God rest his soul. John was a great guy, a good friend. And just some kind of nice purple Ergelia. There's, a couple hundred like this. Here's another beautiful Hohenbergia Leopoldina Horsti. A couple of them there. And those are about 20 inches. They're big plants. That Billbird's is about 3 feet next to it there. Now this was amazing. This to me was one of the best things I've ever seen. I can't believe the amount of energy and time. So you're seeing about, 10 or 15 fasciculatas. There's 6 to the left of this, and an entire table of 15 more to the right of this photo. She had the location, the phenotype, the genotype. It was incredible. Each one of those cards had about 3 paragraphs on them, all different information. And it was just astonishing. And, the public sees this, they don't know what they're looking at.
And it's all for this fasciculata, huh?
It's all the fasciculata Tillandsia complex from all different parts of Mexico, even down into Guatemala, and maybe Dominican Republic and a couple from Cuba. Pam, who's Bird Rock Tropicals, I was one of her oldest customers. Started buying from her when she opened in 1980 down in San Diego. But Pam went collecting at a very early age and went collecting with Werner Rau. She delivered that talk here where she talked about her travels with Werner Rau. But Pam has faithfully kept these things over the 30, 40-year period. And look at them, they're all in bloom. I mean, it was just, my eyes shot out of my head. And, the problem is the general public doesn't know what they're looking at. But again, on Facebook, they went out of their minds. And they were like, why didn't you take a picture of each card and put it out? Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to fall into, they want me to fall into a 6-foot grave before I, But you do what you can. That's all I can do. And that was, I think it was one of the best of the shows. I'm sorry, it's a kind of a washed out. It was a much better color than that. It's a bad shot. Too much flash. This is interesting. Scott Sandell, I believe his name is. Now, you see that the back leaves are one kind of variegation, and the other leaves are another kind of variegation. It's not necessarily a commercially interesting plant, but I liked it. This is about 2.5 feet. I mean, it was huge. He got this for $2 as an unmarked seedling at Rancho Santa Fe Nursery like 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, and this is the result. All right, keep moving. Norgelia Dorothy, that's large. That's about 20 inches. It's a Chester Skotak plant, named after his daughter. And here's one of the neomeas. It's not strawberry. I don't know which one it is, but it's a nice one. It has better form and better color. So that's Norgelia times Ecmea. Neomea. This is amazing. This is a nice, big, about an 18-inch, huge Alerziana, which is one of my favorite Tillandsias, right next to Dorati. And for years, this was called Beastie in the trade because it hadn't been named yet, and it's named after the guy Ellers who found it. There's a nice freesia. I think this was, it's in the display. And who knows? There's hundreds of these glyph freesias. Look at this, by Andy Sickenden or Robert Kopstein. This to me was one of the best things of the show. That's about 16 or 18 inches wide, but it's only about 5 inches tall. And it's some kind of rare Hectia species. He collected seed of, and I think brought the seeds back, and that's like 10 years of growing right there to get to there. I didn't get the name, sorry. This to me was one of the best Bill Burges there. Look at this crazy thing, striping and spotting and variegation, and it's crazy. And it looks so good in a specimen club. One of the best of the dark Ecmeas, Ecmea Black Panther. This is big, 18 something inches, 20 inches. And it's got this kind of folding or corrugation of the leaves. Beautiful plant. And a classic Rhesia spini variety, Woodbry. And it's a soft leaf plant. You can't grow this in the full sun at all. It fries in one day. So there's the Tillandsia division. Just to give you an overview of the show. And this is about a 12, 14 inch, I don't want to exaggerate sizes, 12 to 14 inch, beautiful Tectorum. That's not a pup of it, it's just added there. A nice Orthophytum Gerkenii. And some of the plant sales area. And a nice fasciculata for sale. And member plants for sale. And you see Ecmea ensign to the left. And other kinds of nice Norgelias. And ubiquitous, necessary, common and rare Tillandsias for sale. Okay, and that brings us to our next other sister or brother club, the South Bay Bromeliad Associates. And that's held at Rainforest Flora in their third greenhouse, essentially their packing and shipping and their production where they make their Tillandsia displays for sale. And this, again, is not a big show in square footage, but it's got great plants. And I think I only have like division shots of this show, just to give you the feel. Bill Burgess, this last year they had, I don't know, 50 or 60 outstanding Bill Burges. You've got some great, oh, look at that, Don, our friend Don and Brian Chand. And a great Dickia display. And then this was, this doesn't do it justice. I wish I had put this through the Photoshop and corrected it. It was a little more brilliant colored than that, but you had all these giant plants there, and this is what won, and it deserved it. I didn't get the name, I'm sorry. It's a cryptanthus. Here's some of the Neurigelias. And Jim Jager, our intrepid member here and helper, and helps run this club. Great guy, teacher. And, you know, we have 3 or 4 times as many Tillandsias as they do, but they have some unbelievable specimens. Like, look at that big xerographic on the right. And that, you've got the nice albida almost in the middle, the one that's sort of saxophone shaped. And this is a very rare Tillandsia, Tillandsia mima. And it's a very subtle thing. You have to see it up close. It's got that nice purple stripe down the side of the leaves. And just a regular, this is, you know, you got to remember there's a couple bromeliads that are sort of our ambassadors to the world. And this Tillandsia inantha is one of them. And almost everyone who starts with bromeliads starts with Gilbertia, Newton's, Queen's Tears, or whatever they call it, and Tillandsia inantha. Mostly because if you just water them once in a while, you put them outside, and it doesn't freeze, they're going to live. And that success gets a lot of people into bromeliads. This is Tillandsia creation, and that's a cross between Cyanea and, help me somebody, it's the big one. No, the one from Brazil, I can't think of it. But this is not a great example of it. It usually has a much, Platyraceus times Cyanea. The only problem with this plant is that through both those parent plants, the leaves are brittle. And if you do anything to the leaves, snap, they come right off. You gotta be careful. But
What's the plant to the right?
it's a giant clump of, that's a good question, giant clump of the sort of reddish clone of Johnsia. And that's about 4 foot.
It won Best in Show 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it keeps winning it over and over. Ted Johnson and his wife, I can't remember her name. Jackie, sorry. Ted and Jackie have one of the premier collections in the world of bromeliads. And so,
when you see it, your eyes, your jaw drop.
I haven't been there, but I've heard. And the point is that they run the show, they run that club, and they do a nice job, but they bring some of their best plants. I don't know if I have a shot of that. Serious bromeliad collector wearing a pineapple shirt. Here's a intergeneric, it's a Dickia times a Deuteraconia, Diconia June. I like it. Some could say, what's the point? But it's a beautiful thing in clumps. And a different kind, different form. Muspinae grubri. There's a variegated one of these that's pretty nice too. Here's something by Jackie. She always does the most incredible artistic things. This is one of my favorite old-time Neurigelia crosses, Neurigelia red tips. And those are about 12 inches, or 10 to 12 inches. They're not big, but they're incredible high contrast, high definition, and look beautiful in this, artistic. And this is, for those of you who don't know, this is a rare animal, very rare. This is a real thing. I think it was put in by George Laria. But Hectia argentea, it's like a unicorn. People will sell you it, you try to get cuttings of it, it won't be it. It's, the thing is this, just to refresh your memory, all the Dickias, virtually all the Dickias and Chloriums, Deuteraconias, they come from Brazil, a little down Argentina, a little north up to Venezuela, but by and large, they're in Minas Gerais part of Brazil. Well, all the Hectias are geographically unique to Mexico. And there's different theories about this, but the most general theory is simply that, we're dealing with a plant family that's actually fairly young, okay? Cycads are 600 million years old. Certain ferns go back 1 billion years. Bromeliads and cacti are only in the New World, meaning from the southern United States to Argentina in the Americas, and they're theoretically only about between 15 and 25 million years old. So you're getting this, we've got the footprint of the geographic evolution of plants in given areas. So Andy Sikkinen, and as we had last month, if you were here, Robert Kopstein, have spent gone thousands of miles and spent a lot of time trying to work and document these plants before they disappear. And unfortunately, parts of Mexico are so intractable, it's so hard to get to, that they're somewhat protected. All right, one of the great orthophytum vegans, the variegated form. And this is a stunning thing. This is it's a Chester Skotak plant, but it's the variegated version. And this is Brian Chan's plant. I reserved a pup of this. I said, even if it's 5 years. It's the only variegated plant that Brian grows. He's got a couple others, but he doesn't chase the variegates. And the reason is this. You know, if you could clone this plant, you could sell 10 million of them, and you could sell them for 100 apiece. You can't, in general, you cannot clone variegated plants. It's a mechanical function, so you can get reversions. That's one of the reasons that Brian doesn't chase them, is you can buy a plant like this, it looks wonderful, and 1 or 2 or 3 years down the road, the pups turn green. But this plant to me is one of the great reasons that we, even if we don't own it, that we love bromeliads. What other plant looks like this? You'd swear it's fake. You'd swear it's pushed out of a Taiwan, you know, a plastic silk factory making fake plants. But that's a real plant. And let's see. All right, so we went through quick. So I'm going to talk to you just a few minutes about my YouTube channel and the Facebook thing. Even if you hate it, don't want to know about it, 2 minutes. My channel, if you just search me on YouTube, Barry Landau with my face, and this is what the channel looks like. And the reason to do that, so here's the upload page. These are the videos I've actually made, about 163 right now, and it's all the things I do for people that I do jobs for too. But the reason to do this is that for the last 3 years I have faithfully gone to all the shows and put in hundreds of hours going there, photographing, videoing, making these videos. You watch them for free. Most of them are about 20 minutes, so I don't drive you nuts. Some of them are a little longer, but for instance, you can see our show from this year that just happened. Here's the title board. So you can find my channel, and if you have the interest and the time, you can see these videos in depth. Okay, so that's, just so you know, I don't like to promote myself very much, but I'm going to tell you. This is called Neuragelia Barry Landau. It's officially registered. It's a friend of mine. He's the top thoracic surgeon at the King's Hospital in Bangkok, Thailand. His name is Udo Savitvong. He's a genius. He's been growing these and cycads, and he grows all rare plants. But there's a hybrid he made about 15 years ago, and he was waiting for some reason to name it. And because of what I did on Facebook, bringing people together, he named it after me.
Do you have one?
No, I don't. It's very hard to send things over. You have to send them, because here's the problem. You can send in clean material from Thailand, and they'll still gas it and burn it here. You almost have to do it illegally, and I don't want to do that. All right, just 1 second now. We're going to take 2 seconds to show you something real quick. So, give me 1 second we're going to warm up. So now we're going online. I have my Wi-Fi, which is clear broadband, which was bought up and being killed by Verizon, but I have it for 1 more month. So now we're going to go live. Uh-oh, that's my mail. You don't want to see my mail. God forbid. Okay, so we're going to go to Facebook briefly. And we're going to sign in. There's my page. That's my timeline. All right, so, you know, I know a lot of you are scared to death or hate it or think it's the devil's mechanics or that it's the CIA, whatever. You don't have to use your real name like I did. You don't have to use your primary email. It takes 3 minutes to sign up, and here's why you're going to want to do it. I'll show you why. What I did, just so you know, after I came back from college, and I went to Frenchie, and I had a couple other mentors, science mentors. One was Dr. Richard Feynman, who I knew through my family. That's the father of quantum mechanics. All of them said to me, we took the time to help you and give you plants, teach you knowledge. You got to pass it on somehow to young people. So what I did was, I found this function, the group function, for, in other words, you can make a group of any kind, sewing, button collecting, mushroom, anything you want. But attracting people and keeping people involved is a miracle. That's the hardest thing to do. So I want you to see that over here, as of tonight, we have 10,972 members on planet Bromeliad. Here it is. Now, I gave a talk about this in 2011. Don and Alan let me give a talk. And before I went off to the 2012 World Conference. At that time, there were 1,200 people. These have grown exponentially. The fun part is this. Let me try to show you why I like it. So you say, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal, you can see the first post. So down the middle here, in this area across here, this is what's called the posting area, or the feed. And so anyone who is a member in good standing can post something. This guy here, Dario, he's new, and he's put in something that he hasn't made the post available to the public, so you can't see it. Okay, big deal. But then next down is a great lady, and it's it's under her name and her husband, Rob Marie Giddens Bulguru Bromeliads. It's a tongue twister. They're in Australia. See, one of the great things about this, and I won't go on and on because I don't want to bore you, but the great thing about it is this. We have people from 100 countries. They're all Bromeliad addicts like us. You can go on 24 hours a day, like a coke addict or like a methamphetamine freak, and you can talk bromeliads to somebody somewhere in the world. When you're depressed, when you're suicidal, you can come online and you say, God damn it, Rob, I want that plant. No, you can't have it. It's in Australia. You can't ship it. Because, you can't ship it in and out of Australia. It's very difficult or impossible because it's an island. But what they did was in the 60s and 70s, and this is part of what Frenchie and Victoria Padilla and other, Dr. Kent, they avidly gave good deals to people in Australia and sent a lot of genetic stock over there to the early collectors. And they have made good use of it. And they have hundreds and hundreds of their own unique hybrids. Now, 10 to 1, that's a Chester Skotak hybrid. But anyways, so you can see if you click on the picture, it gets bigger and you can see the comments on the right. So the point is this. The fun part is that here's, again, look at this guy. It didn't, here, attachment unavailable. There's nothing there. Let me just show you real quick, plant Tillandsia, and then I'll let you go. And see, down the left here, these are my, what do you call, favorites. And they're just a preset, so I can go there quickly. There's plant Tillandsia, and as you can see, I have pinned the top post on both of these planets, which are groups, announcing my talk here tonight. And what good is that? It's 95% people in Bangor, India, and whatever. But you know what? The idea is to relate to them why this club is important, why we're good, and what we have to offer. And they can come to, you see, so look, if I click here, that'll take us to, that's a link, takes us right to our club's Facebook page, which is nascent. There's not much done here, but at least we have a public, a view, a window on the public. But the point is that, so on Planet Tillandsia, right now, if you look over here, what is that? Well, this guy, this person, is trying to get in. And being that I am the administrator, we're going to click that and let her in. Normally, I would try to take the time to see if she's a spammer or a fake or a worldwide whore or something like that. No, you can't believe what they are. And you can't believe who's attacked me. I've had neo-Nazi, transvestite, gypsy fortune tellers come after me. They want to, I want to talk in public. I want to be in your group. If you're not going to talk about bromeliads or tillandsias, or whatever the group is about, you're not going to talk. I'm sorry. And if you're going to be mean to people, you're gone. So I really run this I really run this in the spirit of what Frenchie, this is my whole point to you, of what Frenchie raised me with, what Bill Palin, what Dr. Kent. You know, when I was young, they took me under their wing, and yes, I had a little bit of my own money, and my mother helped, but by and large, those people would give me twice as many plants as I bought. And that's, I tried to return the favor by making the plants more famous. All right, so the point is simply this. You can, if you want, access these groups. Anyone's available, you know, you can be Bromeliad Kitty. You don't have to have your name if you don't want to be discovered. Whatever it is. But well, people name themselves crazy stuff.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so let's just wait 1 second. I just want to show you one. Yeah, like that crazy guy. So look, here's a comment stricta. But this person, Teresa Sandberg, let's see if she tells us where she is. She's not, Trinity University, I don't know where that is. It could be in Canada. But the point is simply that you make friends, you make acquaintances, and everybody is talking. It's almost like going to a World Bromeliad show, in your bathrobe, naked with a cup of coffee, and you don't have to leave your home. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to cross this
So
time.
you created planted palms and orchids, those are all your...
I actually, what I did, because I'm out of work, and because I'm floundering, and because I tend to have a fairly large brain, which has been a bane, I created 305 planets. I also created moons. Here's the moon Vreesia, because here's what it is. Let me show you I'll tell you one last thing real quick. I just want to show you one thing. Like for instance, this is from David Fell from Hawaii. And Don was just there, visited the nursery last year at the World Show. I have Chester Skutak as one of my great guys. Now, he's too busy most of the time. But what people like David and Chester let me do is they don't have time to post it everywhere. They'll put up a photo, and I will download and reissue the photo under their name and put it all over the planets. Because what you got to realize is, between the moons, just between the planet Bromeliad, and I'm on the left there, planet Tillandsia, and then these moons, you're talking about 35,000 people. And there's not that much overlap. But the point of Moon Vreesia, I'm sorry, I didn't explain. The point of Moon Vreesia is to have people, there's people who only like Vreesias. Some of you are like this, you only like Tillandsia, or you only like Bergia. The idea of the moon...
Moons are very specific.
Exactly. Look, there's 1,559, or whatever it says, 89, right? And then you have Moon Alcantara for the giant plants. Give a second. And that's Chester stuff at the top there. Now, just to give you one other last idea of how this stuff works, I'll show you from the inside as an admin real quickly, and then I'll let you go. We're almost out of time, I know. All right, see, that's an Ergelia, right? A close-up of Ergelia leaves. Most likely, what's the one named after the botanist? Come on. It's a species. I can't think of it. But as an admin, I have the unique ability to go in and change this. And what I just did was I clicked in, and it allows me to see recent photos that members have put up. Yes, part of what I do in this thing is I try not to dominate it. This is not about me. It's not my ego. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to promote the plants. So the idea is to feature interesting photos by the members. So we can take, for instance, this one. If it's too close, it's not going to look good because you have limited space, but watch. Look at that. Now the thing that's interesting is, I'm going to leave it there, that can now be seen by all 10,000 whatever people. But the point is this, the reason, and then I'll be quiet, it's a democratic situation. Anyone who is willing to stick to the subject matter is allowed to post. And it can be as dumb as they want or as smart as they want. And that's the difference. When you get the Bromeliad Journal from the BSI, which is a fantastic journal, people underestimate it. You know, the thing is this, the chances of you or I ever getting an article in there is zero. Zero. Okay, Robert got an article in. But here on Facebook, on these planets, anyone who loves their plant can put up a photo and say, oh, I love my plant. and people either cheer them or deny them, whatever. Okay, enough about this. Thank you for putting up with me.